Welcome to DEMOCREPUBLIX, where we give you the real news that matter to the people. And might I add, we call out the fake news. According to DeGenova, Comey is the dirtiest cop in America. He destroyed the FBI's reputation. Former U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, Joe DeGenova, discussed the Trump-Russia investigation and the character of former FBI Director James Comey on Monday's edition of the Tucker Carlson show, of Tucker Carlson Tonight. Let's take a listen to this video.
Joe DeGenova is a former U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, and he joins us tonight. Joe, given the centrality of Peter Strzok in these two investigations, Hillary email and the current Trump-Russia investigations, on what pretext could the FBI be denying these texts to Congress?
It's very difficult to see how they have any basis for denying Congress access to this data. They publicly leaked the reason that he was fired, removed from the case. So there can't be a personnel reason for doing it.
Right.
And even if there were, it wouldn't matter. Congress has a right to that data. They can receive it. They have to receive it. I think what's going on at the Bureau right now is very, very serious. It's very depressing for a former federal law enforcement official. This is not your mother's FBI. What's wrong with the FBI is not the average everyday agent. They're great. It's the management at the FBI that is the problem, and that management has not improved with the arrival of Mr. Wray. I cannot understand how Chris Wray, the current FBI director, can tolerate having Andrew McCabe on his staff at this point, given his history and his track record. I think the FBI...
I'm going to stop right there. McCabe lives in Virginia, and his wife, of course, got money from the Clintons to run for office in Virginia. I can't remember what office it was, but she didn't win, thank goodness. And so, of course, he's leaning for the Clintons because his wife got money from the Clintons. So he should not even be part of this investigation. He should recuse himself from this investigation altogether. Let's continue with the video.
Is in very serious trouble. It started with James Comey. Comey, the dirtiest cop in America, destroyed the FBI's reputation with his bizarre personal behavior beginning way before his July 5th news conference. The Bureau is in trouble. It needs a major overhaul, and if it continues to resist Congress, I believe the contempt of Congress for the current director and other people in the agency is absolutely justified.
So this is the most powerful agency in the federal government. They can literally break down the front door of your house and take your freedom away, and they do that quite a bit.
Or show up at your house in the morning while you and your wife are in bed in order to frighten you like they did with Mr. Manafort. What a disgusting, awful display of raw political power. Not law enforcement power, political power. I think the Bureau has been politicized by Comey. I don't know what Wray's going to do about it, but he has a short time frame to fix it.
And we haven't confirmed it, that General Flynn at the White House in January, newly installed National Security Advisor, meets with the FBI, talks to them. They don't tell him this is a formal interview, and it's on the basis of that that he's charged and pleads to perjury.
It was Andrew McCabe who sent those agents there, by the way. The man who...
But can you do that?
Yes, you actually can. But here's what's disturbing about it. It's technically okay to do that, but you have to ask yourself, given the history of everybody involved in that case, who were involved in the Hillary email server case, where they conducted a totally irresponsible, unprofessional criminal investigation, and then they turn up the heat on this investigation of Flynn, the same agency. This is politics.
And he made a good point. This is absolutely politics. It has nothing to do with anything. Like he said, they went in and they didn't even tell him they was basically investigating him. And he slipped up, told a lie maybe. I'm talking about Flynn, I'm sorry. And Flynn slipped up, told a lie, and he's being charged for it. And I didn't know this, but they said that he hadn't even been, he didn't even know he was basically, I don't want to say under oath, but if you lie to an FBI agent, it's a felony no matter what. But I guess he didn't know he was actually being like interviewed or investigated, and he lied, basically.
The Bureau has been politicized. You compare the email server investigation of Hillary Clinton with the investigation of General Flynn and President Trump's aides, and what you have is a despicable politicization of the Bureau.
Totally politicized. Totally politicized. I've never in my life seen the FBI so one-sided. They're supposed to be impartial. They're supposed to be lawful. They're supposed to treat everyone the same. And it's blatant. You can see from the Hillary investigation how they treated Hillary. They came to her on, I think it was the 4th of July. They had hot dogs and stuff, and she wasn't under oath or anything like that. And they just had a casual conversation. We don't know what was said. And that was the end of it. But with everything that's going on with Flynn, we know what was said. We know that he lied, and they give us all this information. It's not all hush hush like the whole Hillary thing when she, where we have that the information that she basically had above top secret information on her servers, and nothing happened. Let's go back to the video.
They can no longer insist that they are fair at what they're doing.
Same charge. I mean, the same guy, Peter Strzok, apparently let the former Secretary of State off the hook for lying, and then pushed the indictment on felony charges of the National Security Advisor for lying. So how is that?
Mr. Strzok has been hopelessly compromised since he expressed his political views to his paramour, with whom he was another FBI official that he was having a sexual relationship with. Strzok is no longer credible inside the Bureau. That's why he's now in the Human Resources Department.
Right. Just shakes the faith of everyone.
He's in the Human Resources Department. He should be fired. He shouldn't have a job in the federal government. He should be collecting unemployment right now. Let me know what you think. Leave comments, and please subscribe, and please don't forget to check out DEMOCREPUBLIX.com for the latest in news. Remember, we keep it real. Till next time.
We live in a really nightmare. Watch out for the watch out for the we live in a really nightmare. Watch out for the